What's up? Excuse me. What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Aram for once again having a great topic of discussion and also donating to the channel via the PayPal. Much respect to you for showing love to Too Raw for TV, and he has a note. And basically, he was saying that he was seeing in a basketball chat group a discussion about Steph Curry and Jerry West. And I'm assuming it's probably related to Steph Curry recently, I think it was maybe a month ago, passing Jerry West on the all-time scoring list. So anyway, he was saying that they were debating who were better in this chat group, and it was surprising him that so many people ranked Steph Curry ahead of Jerry West. And he wanted me to give my perspective on it. And it doesn't surprise me that a lot of people think that Steph Curry is better. Part of it is, I would say, well, first of all, a lot of it's recency bias. Secondly, a lot of these guys who are in these chats, they say they know the history of the game, but it's not a deep, thorough history. Like, they know who guys are, but they still, in my opinion, don't look at eras and factor in rule changes, style of play, you know, pace. They don't factor these things in when they're comparing stats, and I see that all the time. They might know who some of these guys are, but they don't do a really good job, in my opinion, of really thoroughly investigating the eras. But Steph Curry is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal player, and it's funny because if you ever say anything critical about Steph Curry with some of his fans, they take it as a personal affront. But that's the era that we're in, man. When you criticize in any way or critique any of these guys' favorite players, they take it personal. Me personally, if you ask me who's better, I think it depends on your personal preferences. But me, I'm not as swayed by championship rings as everybody else. Like, most people gonna look at rings. They're gonna say, well, Steph Curry won 4 NBA championships. Jerry West only won 1. Jerry West was 1-8 in the finals. Steph Curry is 4-2 in the finals. Therefore, that means that Steph Curry is better, right? But what they won't say is, or what they won't look further into it is, you can make a strong argument that for a lot of Steph Curry's career, he's been blessed to be playing on some really good teams. Now, I'm not saying that he hasn't done the majority of the heavy lifting. He has. I'm not going to say that he was Bill Russell, although Bill Russell did a lot of heavy lifting on the defensive end and rebounding and leadership and all those other things. He had a lot of clutch plays. But Steph has been blessed playing on some great teams. Jerry West, unfortunately, as was the case with Bob Pettit, as was the case with Oscar Robertson for most of his career, as was the case with Wilt Chamberlain, obviously, and his fellow teammate Elgin Baylor, they happen to play in the same era with Bill Russell and those damn Celtics. So most of those final losses came against the Celtics. You know, I believe the other team that they lost to was a New York Knickerbocker team that featured Hall of Famers up and down the damn roster. You know, including in 1973, you had Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, who was more of a collegiate Hall of Famer than NBA Hall of Famer, um, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Walt Frazier, and on the bench, Jerry Lucas and the recently departed Dick Barnett. So, these things don't get put into the equation. When we look at Steph Curry's resume, four-time NBA champion, Jerry West one time, Steph Curry one-time Finals MVP, Jerry West one-time Finals MVP, the only guy to win that award on a losing team. Steph Curry two-time league MVP. That's where he has a huge advantage over Jerry West. Jerry West never won that award. Steph Curry is 11-time All-Star. Jerry West is a 14-time All-Star. Steph Curry is a two-time All-Star Game MVP. Jerry West won the All-Star Game MVP once, 1972, and I forget the game winner, if I recall correctly. This is where Jerry West has a strong advantage. 4 times All-NBA first team for Steph, 10 times All-NBA first team for Jerry West. Steph 4 times All-NBA second team. Jerry West 2 times All-NBA second team. Steph 2-time All-NBA third team. There was no such thing as an All-NBA third team when Jerry West played. I don't think that came into existence until, I think 1989. Steph Curry All-Rookie first team. I believe I don't know if there was a such thing as an All-Rookie first team when Jerry West played. I'm not sure that. I don't think there was. Steph Curry won sportsmanship awards, 3-point contests, these things didn't exist back then when Jerry West was playing. Steph Curry led the league in scoring twice. Jerry West led the league in scoring once, 1970. Jerry West led the league in assists once, 1972, something that Steph Curry never did. Steph Curry led the league in steals once. They didn't track steals back then, but I would bet money that Jerry West probably unofficially led the league in steals a few times. Just a guess. I can't definitively prove that, but it's just a guess. Steph Curry, a member of the 50, 40, 90 club. Jerry West never did that. Steph Curry, a member of the 75th anniversary team. Jerry West, a member of the 35th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams. Both members won Olympic gold. Steph Curry in 2024. Jerry West in 1960. For his regular season career, Steph Curry has played in 1,026 games and has averaged 24.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 6.4 assists, and 1.5 steals. Jerry West in 932 games has averaged 27 points, 5.8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. In postseason play, Steph has played in 151 games, has averaged 27 points, 5.3 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 1.5 steals. Jerry West, in 153 playoff games, 29.1 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 6.3 assists. So they kind of both combo guards. They kind of play that combo guard / shooting guard, point guard hybrid position. But Jerry West to me was a better passer than Steph Curry. I would say Jerry West was probably a slightly better rebounder. Jerry West is probably a better ball stealer, if you want to call it that. But I can't prove that because we don't have the numbers. Got to go off of reputation and hearsay on that. Jerry West was definitely a better defender. Steph is not a bad defender. He kind of was earlier on. Steph is not a bad defender, but he's not a great one-on-one defender. But he is good at getting steals in the passing lanes, whatever. Jerry West was great at getting steals in the passing lane, and he was a great one-on-one defender. So defensive-wise, Jerry West has a huge advantage. People like to say Steph changed the game with a three-point shot. I pushed back on that a little bit. He did. But the game was changing a little bit before Steph Mania. Like, People like to say, "Oh, Steph Curry popularized 3-point shot, and everybody like started shooting threes." Then, but if you look at it, it was analytics. Analytics started in the late 2000s, 2008, 2009, 2010. That's when you start seeing teams shooting more and more threes. Then, even in the Heat area, the Heat, teams were shooting more threes. I would say that Steph Curry popularized it more. He sped up the process, but I don't think he's the initiator. I kind of push back a little bit on that. Um, but Steph Curry is an innovator. And whether that's for a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to people's opinions. I think Jerry West was more dominant, more dynamic, and I think that he showed more of a proclivity to I hate to use this term, put a team on his back, but he was more dominant in my opinion. Like you just gotta look at the numbers. Like the guy averaged 40 points in playoffs, I think like 2 or 3 different times. He has the record for highest scoring average in a playoff series, 46.3 against the Baltimore Bullets, 1965 divisional series, I believe. The guy won an a Finals MVP on a losing team. Before Jordan, he had the highest scoring average ever for a guard. He was just so dominant, and unfortunately, those Laker teams with him and Elgin Baylor were great, but they just lacked the dominant big man to compete with Bill Russell, and they lacked the depth of the Boston Celtics. And I think West was a little bit more versatile. And me personally, I'll give the edge to Jerry West. I think Jerry West is like a top, probably 15 player. Steph to me is more of a top 20 guy, maybe. Um, it's close, but I would give the slight edge to Jerry West. But that's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I look at it like, when did we have these conversations as far as like Kawhi Leonard, for instance? I remember a couple of years ago, around the bubble time, people were saying Kawhi Leonard was top 20. I'm like, how the hell did he become top 20? The guy at the time didn't even have like 6,000 or 7,000 career points, but somehow he's ahead of Charles Barkley and Karl Malone. All these guys have put in 20 years, 15, 16 seasons. I don't know, man. Sometimes I think people are prisoners of the moment. But I do think Steph is top 20, but I will have Jerry West ahead of him. But it's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think.